Hello everyone. In this session we'll learn what is async and await in Playwright and what is the arrow function. So let's start with practical demo. So I'll just create simple test to demonstrate what is async, await and arrow function. So to write the test, first we need to import the test from the Playwright test. Okay, here I'll write test from Playwright test, and then I can start writing the test. Okay, so this test take a 2 parameter. Okay, so this test is coming from this Playwright test. Okay, because we imported this test here. Okay, now the first parameter is your description of your test case or title of your test case. So if you hover also, you can see expect 2 or 3 arguments but got 1. Okay, so minimum 2 arguments are required. And what is the first argument here? The first argument is title, which should be string. Okay, the first argument is title and which should be a string. So I'm using double quote here, Playwright test demo. Okay, give any name, some meaningful name. Now second parameter is the function. Okay, so this is my function, then I will open and close the bracket, hit enter. Okay, so I'm using the function as a second parameter and close it. So this is my one test case, right? So let's understand what is the arrow function here. Okay, so arrow function is just the shortest form of this one. Okay, instead of writing function bracket opening closing bracket, what you can do, you can just remove this function keyword, just give parenthesis and arrow. Okay, here arrow you have to give, and that's it. So it is the shortest form, okay, which is available in the JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript latest version. Now, okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, even you can go with the function also, but the recommended is like arrow function, which is like cleaner one, and okay, so it will reduce lots of code also. Now let's move to what is async await. Okay, what is a async and await? Before that, I'll just automate 2-step of code. So in previous video, like writing your first Playwright test, so we have understood one fixture. Okay, page fixture is there inside a Playwright. Okay, so we will talk about the fixtures in separate video. There are total 5 fixtures available in Playwright, so I'll create separate video to understand what is the fixture, how it works. But consider this is a global variable which is accessible directly. Okay, you don't need to create a Chrome driver instance, Firefox instance here if you already know the Selenium. So directly from this Playwright test, this fixture is coming. Okay, so where is this Playwright test? In your node modules, you see Playwright test. Okay, from this it is coming. Now using page, so this page means it will give you the browser, one tab also, and now you can navigate to application directly. Okay, so I'll write here page dot navigate, sorry, not navigate, it is go to, and in bracket you have to put your URL. Okay, in bracket you have to put your URL. So let me copy the URL. So this is the site I'm using, I'll paste it here. So this is to navigate to this URL, and then enter text in input box. Okay, so page dot, I will just write some locator. So for locator also I'll create separate video. So for now, like I'm just taking locator, I want to enter in this one. Okay, I'll inspect this one. Okay, and okay, it has ID attribute. So ID means we can use the hash here. Okay, hash and whatever the value, and to type something we have a fill method in the Playwright. So RoboticQA. So that's it, like we have written. And even if you want to clear this box again, clear input box, we can write page dot clear, sorry, page dot locator, and this is the locator. of this input box, and I can use the clear function here. Okay, so now let me understand. So I have a step 1, navigate to URL, step 2, enter some text into the input box and clear the box. So if I don't use async await, what will happen? Okay, so the order is not fixed. Let's say my program will start executing this line. Let's say this page is taking some time to load, let's say 5 seconds, and before that it is still loading. It will try to fill the input box which is not present because this page is not loaded. Okay, and what will happen? Your script will fail. Let me give a try. I'll just run this one using npx playwright test, and you see it is giving the error. Okay, protocol error. Let me go and check what is wrong here. Okay, so now it is not working, right? So you have seen it is not working. So what we need to do, we have to use a async and await. So what is async here? So async means you have to, okay, Playwright always works asynchronous. Okay, so Playwright always work asynchronous. Okay, so what happened? The first rule is when you use async, you have to use await also. So async you have to add before the function, and await you have to add whenever you are performing some action. Okay, so here I am performing one action, here also I am performing one action, and here also. Okay, now there will be question in your mind. Okay, so the rule of this TypeScript or JavaScript, when you use async, you have to use await also. That is mandatory thing. Okay, you cannot like remove this one and use await, so it will give you the error. You see, if I remove it, it is giving error. So mandatorily you have to use async await with async. Okay, that is clear. Now what will happen? Async means, okay, you go and do some work here, okay, like navigation, and meanwhile async meaning in the TypeScript it will do other tasks also in background. Okay, but again what will happen with async? Okay, it will hit here and it will go for other tasks also, right? So but the rule is with async you have to use await. Await means wait for this page to load and then only go to next line. Okay, navigate to this application. Once it is loaded properly, go to next line. Again here also await is there, so it is saying like fill this text box properly, and once it is done, once you get call back, then go to the next one. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, one rule is like you cannot use only await or only async. You have to use async with a await. Okay, so that is the rule you have to follow. And arrow function also we have explained, like we have to use don't need to give the function keyword and write like this one. Okay, so I hope it is clear, and let me run this again and see if it is working. Let me run here using npx. Now you see the test is passed, and if I open the report also, so there is command it is giving. Okay, and it open in one browser tab, right? So Playwright test demo, navigated, filled the RoboticQA, and it is passed. Okay, so if you want to see the example, we can run in debug mode also. Let me put debugger at last point. If you just click here, it will put a debugger, and then here I can run as a debug also. Right click, debug test. So my test will wait here at last line, and we'll be able to see, okay, it is typing something or not. You see RoboticQA is typed here. Okay, so that's how it is the async and await work together, and we have to use both. Okay, now let me explain, is there any different way? Can we avoid writing the async and await? Yes, we can do it. Okay, so we can do it. So let me explain you how you can avoid this async and await. Let me remove this async. await, await, and this also. So this can be done using the then keyword. Okay, so this can be done using the then keyword. So what you need to do, let's say once your page is loaded, then this is a keyword, we call it a chaining in JavaScript. Open the bracket, again use the arrow function inside this. Okay, inside then we have written arrow function, and inside that we can put our second line. Okay, so what this does, so it will wait for this page to complete, then it will perform this action. Okay, it will perform this action. Again, if I want to write something, again write then keyword, bracket, and arrow function again, and the third line I can add inside this block. So this is how we can do it. Let me format it so that it will look good. Need to return a promise chain to ensure Playwright is waiting. So what you can do, you can add keyword return here, another here also, and at the end also. So once it returns some promise, then only, okay, so it is waiting. Okay, so here then means this, then inside then we have written, so it wait for this return the promise, then only it will go to that one you are using. And if you are automating complex application, okay, this is not feasible way. Okay, so the recommended is you have to use the async and await function inside the Playwright. Okay, let me run this one and see if it is working or not. And if you see, the test is passed. And even if you want to see the execution also, okay, it will work. Okay, there is no issue in the working, it will work, but this is not the recommended way to automate the test case using the then promise. Okay, so always go with the async and await. I hope you will like this video. If you like the video, please subscribe and like the video. In next session we will see what is the browser context and the fixture. Thank you.